Happy Friday, friends. Let's design today's subscription bucket together. Today we're going to do something a little bit differently. The last 2 weeks we've used chicken wire mechanics, so today we're going to use our hydrangeas as a grid using raffia wire. We're going to start with our 2 large hydrangea that are in the bucket. These are antique green hydrangea, and they're great because they hold their blooms and their colors for a long time, not like wilty. They don't get wilty like other types of hydrangea. So we're going to take the 2 of those in the bucket that we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them in our hand and form them into a little bouquet, a nice round bouquet. And we are going to tie them together at the top and then pop it into our vase. And then this is what we're going to use to design all of our flowers into. So we're going to take a section of this raffia wire. It also has to be maybe like a foot long. We're going to come underneath where our hand is. You can see here, go around the hydrangea once or twice, no more than that. And then we're going to take it and pull it nice and tight to one side, and we're going to twist it as tight as we can, like your twist tie on a bag of bread. Okay, so once it's nice and tied together like that, you're going to trim off the excess, like so. You're going to measure it to your vase so that the stems end up in that bottom third of your vase. Trim off any of these leaves or buds coming off the side of your stems so they're nice and clean, and we're going to pop it right in to our vase so that the sides of the hydrangea come over the edge of the vase, like so. And this is the vase that we sent out our arranged subscriptions in this week. It is a white glass Seneca vase, and one of the reasons we're not using the chicken wire in it today, which you could do if you wanted to because it is opaque, is because sometimes it scratches up the interior and then you have all these weird kind of lines and stuff showing through on the vase. So this is a much cleaner way to design with hydrangea at the bottom. So you're also going to have 3 miniature green hydrangea in your bucket today. Same thing with these. We're going to cut them, but we're going to put them in at an angle. So when you measure, you're going to put it to the side like so, or from the front so you see it this way. And you're going to measure down to this bottom part of the vase. Again, trimming off all of these little nubbies. You can leave some of these greens on if you like. You don't have to, you can take them all off. You're going to tuck that in there so it's just sitting on top of the other hydrangea. You have 3 of these. Again, we're going kind of at an angle in here because we're crisscrossing our stems underneath where we tied the hydrangea. It's kind of making a little bird's nest or a grid to hold the rest of the flowers in. This is another great way to do foam-free mechanics. So there we go. So it's in 3 placements all around, so you can see that color all the way through your arrangement. Also in our bucket today, we have a lot of beautiful roses. We have these lovely peach phoenix roses, which open up pretty nicely, but they do need a little bit of a help out at the start. So you're gonna take these petals off the back, the smaller ones, they're called packing petals, and get rid of those. You're gonna give it a little blow. We're gonna give it a little roll, put it upside down, give it a roll. Roll. Whoops. Whoops, rolled too hard. Yeah, one more time. There we go. Now, if you don't break yours, you'll have 4 in your bucket. Here we go, 1, and then 2. A little rolly, give it a little, poke it in at an angle. There we go, take those petals off, take those leaves off, measure it again at an angle. And these will continue to open really nicely in your vase, like that. Now, if I hadn't broken my 4th one, I would have put him in the middle. So just imagine that being in the middle there. All right, next up in our bucket, we have these lovely free spirit roses. Here we go. These also just give it a little bit of a blow and a roll. You don't have to be too aggressive because they will open really nicely on their own. Gonna trim that nice and clean, take off the leaves, little baby roll, and I'm gonna go in between. They're kind of sticking out a little bit because I want to build in a little bit of texture, so I want to see them at different levels. I don't want all of my roses to be smushed into the hydrangea at the same level. Give a little blow, and give a little roll. Go right in here and get in at that nice angle. popped up a little bit from the rest. I'm gonna do another one right there. There we go. All right, then we have some Israeli ruscus. So we're gonna go in between our roses with the Israeli ruscus. Nice sturdy green. Again, cutting and cleaning off any of the bottom leaves. So I'm not gonna use like these, I'm just gonna use this top part. So I'm gonna take these guys off. Clean the stem, I'm gonna put those in between our roses. All this nasty cold weather, we are going for something nice and sunny today with all of these warm peachy tones and some oranges in the mix too. Okay, once we have all of our Israeli ruscus in, you should have 5 in your bucket. I will put our Leonora roses in. You'll have 2. These are an awesome fragrant garden rose. We love them here at the shop. They have just like that little bit of creamy yellow in the center. So pretty. Pulls in all of those warm colors from the other flowers. One tipped towards the front here. They also have really lovely foliage, so if you want to leave it on, if it's high enough up on the stem, go ahead and leave that on because it just looks so pretty tucked in there. These you don't really need to be that aggressive about blowing or rolling because they will open up very nicely on their own. Okay, next we have Gerber daisies. I feel like Gerber daisies get kind of a bad rap. I think people think of them as kind of a common flower, but they are so happy and sunny, and these just had such a cute little middle. We thought they would be great to include. We have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. Just in a, oops, just in like a triangle, so you can see them all through the arrangement. And just work with their natural shape. Like if they're kind of shaped like this, don't try to put them in like this, it'll look kind of funny. Have them angled so that their bloom lands in the place where you want them to go. And again, we're measuring to this bottom third of the vase. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom of the vase. Just want to go in as far as when you place it, it sticks and it stays. Then we have some lovely ranunculus. These you can give a little bit of a blow to as well to get them started. They will continue to open in the arrangement as well. I'm going to trim this little side guy off. I'll use him in there later. I'm going to come in with 3 of these. 1, again, you want to work with the natural shape of that stem. They have such elegant stems, so you don't want to exclude that from your arrangement. This guy, he has a little guy on the side too. I'm going to take that off and hold on to it. Okay, there we go. Kind of adjust as we go. I'm going to use these little side pieces just for some extra texture. This guy's very short, so I'm gonna use him around the bottom so that I know that it's getting to water. There we go, everybody's in and looking good. Take that petal off. And then we have Billy Balls. These are one of my favorites, and they dry so nicely too. Or Cresspedia. So I'm gonna put these guys in. Some of them I'm gonna tuck in because I love the texture of the actual bloom at the top here, but I also love the fact that they have this cool, like clean stem so they can stick out and give some fun movement to your arrangement. Let it kind of be boingy there in your arrangement. So you never really want to put everything in at the same level when you're designing, unless you're going for like a nice tight ball or a textured ball. If you're going for something a little bit looser, you want to have some things that are pushed in and some things that come out from the arrangement, so it gives that interest going through and it's not the same exact look from every side of the arrangement. You want to be able to see all of the color, and you want to see all of the flowers through the arrangement, and sometimes you might be looking at it through the arrangement. You still want to have that texture. You don't want it to be boring. Just right in here, there we go. And I also have a stem of this awesome umbrella fern. So if you are using your bucket in separate things, and maybe you're using some of these pieces in bud vases, you can separate these into individual pieces to use in little bud vases, which is awesome. When I'm using them in an arrangement, I usually just kind of pull them all together like this, trim it kind of short and tuck it into the arrangement all as a group, and then let the individual pieces sort of unfurl in the arrangement and then move them around to fill the spaces. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna put this in right here. all the way down in there, and then I'm gonna move them around and adjust my flowers so that you have this cool burst of lime green in with all of these really pretty citrus colors. Okay. And then also in our bucket today, we have some silver dollar eucalyptus. I just put this in there to get a little bit of a different texture in the greens, because you have this pretty lime green, and then you have the dark green from the Israeli Ruscus. There's really nothing that brings in like a soft color. And we have all of these like sort of soft pastels mixed in with bright, so we wanted to bring some soft and bright greenery into it as well. You can see as I'm going, I'm just continuing to turn everything around so that I can see all of my blooms in my arrangement. Nothing's hidden, everything's purposeful. This guy is getting hidden, so I'm gonna stick him back here a little bit. There we go, just gonna keep turning, right? Since I have this sort of explosion of lime green over here, I'm going to concentrate a little bit more of my silver dollar eucalyptus off to the other side, just to give balance in the arrangement. So I'll start over here, tuck that in there. Do the same with these other pieces. You'll get them, and they'll probably be in smaller sections, because sometimes the stems of silver dollar come as like these big bushes with all of these laterals off to the side. So you're just going to want to take them down to individual pieces and use them in your arrangement like that. And again, taking off these bottom ones that we're not going to be shown in the arrangement, and then just using that nice clean stem to go down into the vase. And just see that color all around is good. This guy keeps moving, so I'm gonna keep moving him back to where I want to see it. Okay, so there you have it. If you're following along on YouTube and you wanted to design something similar to this, or if you had questions about other ways to set up a vase mechanically, or other types of vases that these flowers could work in, or different applications to use these individual flowers in separate vases, like if you have pretty bud vases around your house, or just little even like jelly jars and stuff like that, feel free to put some notes or questions in the comments and we will answer you. You can certainly always call our shop anytime with any questions, and thank you so much for following along with me and designing from home. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully if you have any questions, you'll reach out to us, because we love to hear from our customers.